I've got this lovely sub. You always need a good sub in your music. I've also got this saw bass, which actually is playing the exact same note, but if you hear the timbre or the texture of the sound is totally different. I have also rolled off quite a lot of the low end. So if you play them together, you can see, like, even though it is actually technically the same note, the two sounds together offer you quite a lot of variety in terms of the timbre of sound that you're listening to. And then I've also got this bass sound here, which is like a mid bass. So in the context of this track, I've got 3 different bass sounds, and as you can see, they're all kind of coming in at different times as well. And that's also something that you can start to develop in your tracks, is using different bass sounds at different times to create different emotional impacts. If I just unsolo this and play you different parts of the track. So we've got like the intro sequence here. In. And then here we've got a little breakdown, which is where a different bass sound comes in. So, in addition to making sure that your bass sounds are audible on laptops, it's also especially nice in downtempo music to use different types of bass sounds to add just different textures and to keep the listener's ear peaked and to keep their minds always engaged in the music. Because if somebody is listening to the same sound for a long enough period of time, their brain just eventually tunes it out. And that's not what you want when someone's listening to a track. You want their attention to be grabbed as much as possible. So, Joe, I'm layering basses already, but it is by EQing them at different frequencies. How do you hack laptop and phone speakers using all the bass? Yeah, so don't just EQ them. What I would say is, so you are layering them and you're EQing them. Yeah, so I mean, like in terms of EQing, obviously if you've got like a really subby bass, you want that to be your sub. So I would take out all the top end. And then if you've got a mid bass, you want to take out the low end of that so that you've got more of the upper frequencies. So the other thing in ambient music, obviously, is you've got your lead sounds, you want pads as well, you want music, you want movement in the music as well. So we've got this lovely string pad going here, which has a really nice fizz to it. And to give it a little bit more texture, I've added a little bit of distortion as well, and obviously some lovely reverb. And you'll notice here, so we've got an auto filter going here, and this line is the automation for the auto filter. So if I unsolo this, you'll see down here, this is where so this pink audio file here is the main violin. So when that's coming in full force, this pad is slowly filtering out. And in downtempo and ambient music, you kind of want to filter things in and out rather than just stopping them and not have them play. Because you just want one layer and one texture to flow really languidly from one to the other. I'm sure all of you know Nathan Fake's tune Outhouse. It's a brilliant example of filtering one sound into the other, so that you don't know what's coming in and what's coming out. You know, like the sounds just keep kind of folding in on top of each other, and that's all achieved by filters, opening and closing filters. So like when one sound is coming in, that filter's opening up, you can be closing the filter on the other sounds, and then they just cross over each other, and that it just creates some really beautiful movement and texture. And I'm going to show you a little trick in the ambient mix on how to do that automatically in some cases as well. Yeah, so don't ever, so Nick, what are the benefits of using autofilter for automation rather than EQ8? EQ8 is not built to automate. EQ8 is only there to cut and boost frequencies. It's an EQ. It's not there to filter. Like if you, let me see if I can demonstrate this for you. What would be a really good example? Maybe the string pad, actually. Okay, so if I just loop it here. Okay, if I switch off this EQ, and instead I will make that. Yeah, so, okay. I hope you're going to be able to hear this. Just listen to what happens when I try to filter out something using EQ8. I don't know if you can hear it because it's quite a scratchy sound, but then I'll do it with the auto filter. It's probably not the best sound to demonstrate it on, but basically, when you're using the EQ8 to filter out a sound, you can hear the formants of the sound. It's kind of like because EQ8 is not built to be a filter. EQ8 it's an EQ. So you use the EQ8 to cut and boost frequencies. The auto filter is built to filter sounds in and out. So always use your auto filter to filter sounds in and out. I've popped here on, we've got a concert hall reverb. So without the reverb on, it sounds nice. With the reverb, it's just got that tiny bit more, how do I say? It gives the overtones a little bit more colour, gives it a little bit more texture. And in this instance, I've got my sub and my saw bass kind of playing the same notes, even though the saw bass does sound like it's slightly higher. But in order to get your bass coming out of a laptop and a phone speaker, put your, like, duplicate, if you want to use the same sound, duplicate that channel, or use, make sure that your synth is polyphonic so that it can play more than one note. If you can't do that, then just duplicate your bass channel, but then transpose the notes in your duplicated channel up one octave. So they're playing exactly the same notes, but up an octave higher.
Hi, this is Roger Sanchez.
Hi, this is Lenny Fontana.
Hey guys, this is Jackie.
Hi guys, Amber D here.
Hi, I'm Paul Maddox.
This is Satek.
Hi, this is Kyle V, and you're watching
Mixmasters TV,
where you can access world-class producers in your studio
every single day.
Mixmasters.